Astral fam, I'm Astral Jen and welcome to the No Fluff Show. In today's episode, we're going to be talking about spiritual contracts that you never consciously signed. So let's get right into it. So let me ask you a question. Have you ever felt like you're still stuck to someone long after they were out of your life? Like their name still haunts your dreams, or you still feel responsible for them, or no matter how many cords you cut, they still seem to be tethered to you? Well, let me tell you something that will set your soul free. You can revoke spiritual contracts you never consciously signed, because that's what those are. And you're allowed to walk away from connections, even soul deep ones, if they no longer honor your truth or bring good into your life. So you might be wondering, what are spiritual contracts? Well, spiritual contracts are energetic agreements made on a soul level. So some are formed with intention. Others are formed through trauma, guilt, or manipulation, and some of them were written long before this life ever started. They sound like this: I'll never leave you. I'll protect you forever. I'll carry this burden for our family. I'll make it right, even if it costs me. Now think about all of the agreements, the depth of what they mean, and the long-term effects by the words chosen. And here's the thing. You might not even remember saying it, but your energy does. And the universe, it responds to vibration, not just memory. And these contracts can come from many different places, okay? So these contracts can come from past lives, childhood trauma, rituals you didn't understand or practices. They can also be emotional dependency, false spiritual guidance, ancestral expectations, and karmic cycles and soul missions you inherited, not chose. So now I want to talk about the signs that you're still bound by a contract you didn't consciously sign. So let's talk about the symptoms, because your soul knows when something's off, even if your mind can't explain it. So you feel an obligation to someone you've cut off, but you still feel tied to. You have reoccurring dreams or visions involving a person or place. You feel blocked in money, love, purpose, and with no logical explanation why you feel so blocked. You constantly self-sacrifice even when your intuition screams no. You feel watched, spiritually tethered, or invaded by an old connection. And lastly, you have a deep, irrational fear of speaking, shining, or leaving someone behind. These are signs of unconscious spiritual agreements still active in your field. And you may have not signed this contract with a pen, but you did with your energy. You agreed through repetition, emotion, or even survival. So be aware if you are going through any of these. This could be a contract you didn't consciously sign. And I want to make something clear. Just because the connection felt powerful doesn't mean it was sacred. And just because the bond was real doesn't mean it was meant to last. And here's the thing. Consent matters in the physical as well as in the spiritual realm. And if a contract was made through manipulation, fear, trauma, or some sort of unconscious agreement, you are allowed to tear it up. Spiritual law always honors present awareness over past agreements. And this is your reminder. You are not bound by oaths you didn't fully understand, and you don't owe anyone loyalty at the cost of your evolution. And here's the thing, you are allowed to walk away from anything and anyone that no longer honors who you've become. You are not stuck. You are not trapped. You can release yourself from these contracts. All right, so now I want to talk about how to revoke a spiritual contract. And I'm going to go through 5 different things with you. Okay, this is what you need to do if you want to revoke a spiritual contract that you might have made unknowingly through all the different things that we've talked about. So 1, you need to write the contract out loud. I want you to grab a pen and write down what you're revoking and be as specific as you can. And then you say this: I no longer consent to the contract that binds me to, and you could say a name or a situation. Be clear. Again, be specific. So like if it's an ex-lover and you don't want them in your energy anymore, use their name. Be specific. And then you will say, this contract is now void. My energy is my own. Okay, so again, it's I no longer consent to the contract that binds me to, be specific, place, who, whatever it is. This contract is now void. My energy is my own. Feel it, know it, say it with intention. You are conscious in this moment. You have a lot of power when you are this conscious in this moment. Okay, then you will take this paper and you will burn it with intention. Again, intention is key. Being very conscious about what you're doing, what you're feeling, what you want to happen. Okay, so you will safely burn the paper. And as the smoke rises, visualize the cords snapping, the energetic seals dissolving, and your soul being restored completely. Envision it. You have to visualize it and let the paper burn out completely. Once you do this, the 3rd step is the mirror declaration, where you are claiming your field, consciously looking at yourself and saying, this is mine. This is what I command because this is my life, my body, my soul, my energy, with intention. Do you feel the intention coming out of my voice? You have to feel it. It might even make you warm. If you get warm, that's good because that means those embers are hot. Okay? So I want you to stand in front of a mirror and say this. Okay? I am no longer bound by distortion. I break all unconscious agreements now. I stand in full spiritual sovereignty. What was formed in fear ends in truth. Okay? So once you do that, the 4th step is I want you to anoint and seal. Okay? So you anoint your 3rd eye, your heart, and your solar plexus. Use mugwort, rosemary, and frankincense. Okay, those are the best. If you don't like those, find what you resonate with and use those. Okay, then when you do this, when you anoint, then you will say this: this body is my contract now. I consent only to what aligns with my divine path, which means you have declared power over yourself and nothing and no one gains that power again. Okay? The last thing that I want you to do, because another entry point is your dreams. So you have consciously sealed yourself in the physical. Now you have to consciously seal yourself when you sleep. Okay? So before you sleep, before bed, you will say, no old contracts, cords, or karmic ties may pass through my subconscious. I seal my energy. I am whole. I am free. I am sovereign. And then you're going to envision a bubble of golden light around you, completely sealed. Nothing and no one can enter this field without your conscious permission. It's important that you consciously revoke these spiritual contracts because the majority of them are made unknowingly, unconsciously, and through manipulation. And understand this, you are not a prisoner of karma. You are not a slave to soul ties, and you are not here to carry the burdens of the past that you didn't even choose. Yes, you went through something that felt deep. Yes, it felt destined, but if it's still draining you, it's not your forever. And you don't need a permission slip to be free. But if you've been waiting for a sign, this is it. Rip up the contract, close the gate, and walk forward like the damn soul architect that you are. Realize who you are and get in the driver's seat and cut off anything that doesn't serve your highest good. So that's all I got for you, my amazing astral fam. Definitely drop a comment below if you are revoking every spiritual contract that was ever built on pain, guilt, manipulation, or even pressure. And definitely subscribe, because in the next episode, we are going even deeper into spiritual parasites, how to evict them, how they disguise themselves, and so much more. So definitely stick around, because you don't want to miss the upcoming episode. I will see you in the next video.